Morning Wrapcandy friends, it's Monday and I thought that because everyone wanted to know how to use the word collages and letter collages and number collages I've been sharing the past couple weeks, I would go ahead and make a tutorial on it. It's actually really easy. We're going to open up Wrapcandy. I'm going to do everything out of Wrapcandy this morning. Normally I go into Inkscape and I make my collage and then I import it into Wrapcandy and make it a transparent background. But for today, I'm just going to show you how easy it is to use a couple of my collages. We're just going to go in and we're going to create a new, and we're going to put none, but we're going to reverse the width and the height. I want the width to be wider, so we're going to make it 10 inches, and we're going to make the height 7.5. And I'm just going to do this so I can show you. Normally what I use this type of collage for is a card, like an invitation. I have been doing invitations for about 8 years, and so I'm going to show you how easy it is for me to use this particular collage to make an invitation. So let me go into this particular photo. And this is a photo of my granddaughter. And what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to put her into the area that I want to make the collage with. And once I get her the way I want her, then I'm going to go ahead and import the particular collage that I'm talking about, which will be down here. I'm going to use this one. And all it is basically is a lot of lines that I put together to make into this particular collage. And I've seen this a lot on Etsy and Pinterest, and they're charging between $8 and $12 for one layered collage, which is what this is. I just made it into one particular piece, which is a JPEG with the transparent backgrounds. So all I'm really doing is making it to where I can actually print out the new photo with the lines in it. It just makes the photo look a little different than what you're normally used to. You can do the same thing with the candy bars. You can put this on the candy bars, you just make it smaller. So that's the first one that I'm going to show you. The second one is using one of these word collages, and in my case for today's tutorial we're going to use yes, there it is. Okay, so we're going to use this one, and I'm going to bring in a couple of photos again of my granddaughter because that's what I decided to snag, and I'm going to make them a certain size. Let me go and move this over. I'm going to make this a certain size. And what I like to do is I like to add a background so that I can actually see what I am doing in back of my numbers or letters. And I always like to color it a brighter color so that I actually know exactly where to put my photos after I have finished cropping them. So as you notice, I've got the 2017 or 2017 up here, and basically all I would do is I would do the same thing with a candy bar. I would shrink it down to fit over the front of the candy bar, and you'll see one of those samples in something that I shared earlier, and I'll bring it in here before we go. Normally all I'm going to do is I'm going to use my cropping tool, and I'm going to go over here to the first number. But instead of cropping out the number, I'm going to get it to the size I want, and then I'm going to bring it over here to this picture. And I'm just going to hit crop, and then take it over here and put it right on top, just like that. Now, normally I would bring in several pictures, but you're going to see what I mean when I go ahead and crop out the rest of these. And by doing this, it shows you just how easy it is to bring in photos. And again, I can do this with whatever photos I want. I have a couple of I've got a couple word collages that I recently shared with Nana and Papa and Mother, Father. So you can actually put your children's pictures behind the letters of the words and then put it on the front of your candy bar wrapper and give it as a gift, and the person who's getting it would just absolutely go bonkers. So here's all 4 of my photos, and when I get that positioned where I want, I'm going to bring this to the front. And there you go. That's how easy it is to use. You can use this in any program that you want. You could put different colors in the background instead of the photos. You can just do colors. It's endless. I'm going to show you really quick how easy it is for me to use whatever word I want. And today I'm going to use my granddaughter's name, and I'm going to capitalize it. For some reason, it just looks a lot better when it's capitalized. And I'm going to take the size of the font all the way up to a 95. And I'll show you why here in just a minute. Now, before I crop this, I'm going to change the look of the letters. And you'll see why in a second. This looks really drab and boring. But when I change the look of the letters, for some reason, it just looks really, really cool. Just gives you a different look. Okay, so here's this. Now, I don't like to take it past 95 because Wrapcandy, for some reason, glitches on me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to crop this word. There we go. Now I can blow it up to whatever size I want. And I'm going to save it as a JPEG just by going to save as image, JPEG, go to the high quality, leave the resolution at the default, and we're just going to name it on our desktop Lila. And then I'm going to move this over to the side, and I'll show you why here in a second. Now we're going to bring that image back in here, the one that we just made, which is right there. And I'm going to go up here and hit is transparent. The darker color is always black on these. The lighter color is always the lightest gray, which is the 25%. Hit OK twice, the whole thing disappears. Now watch what happens when I take this photo from earlier. I got to shrink it down a little bit. I only want this size right here. And I know it's kind of hard to see, but I'm just cropping out the transparent part. Okay, now it's still transparent. You can see that, right? We're going to move this old one out of the way. We're going to bring her up here and bring her out a little bit. And then I'm going to click on this, and it's about that wide. And you'll see why. I like doing this with my kids' birthday cards and that kind of stuff. They love it. And I'm just going to bring this out just a little bit wider. And you can play around with your photo. You can crop your photo. Just remember, crop your photo to the size of the letter that you need it to be, no larger and no smaller, because then you'll be able to see it in the background. So last but not least, I'm going to bring in the Hershey bar wrapper that I made to show everyone so you would get an idea of what I was talking about. So basically, that's all I did with my daughter's photo. That is the grad word collage. I brought in my background first, and then I brought in the grad word collage, and then I brought in all 4 photos that I wanted of my daughter. I made the size of my crop the way I wanted to, brought it over to the photo, cropped out the photo, brought the photo back over, put it on top of the letter that I was going to put it under, and then once I was done with all 4 photos, I brought the word collage to the front. Then I added my wording and my border. That's as simple as it is. It might seem hard the first couple times that you do it, but trust me, it is not. So I hope this has been of some help. I hope it wasn't too fast for you. Just keep playing around with it a little bit and you'll get the hang of it. Trust me, I know. It was good to give you guys another tutorial, and hopefully I can do another one soon. Have a great day.